just wrote the lesson that I learned. Misty heart, in your heart, I'll be there anywhere you want. Troubles coming on the way, but you can still walk them through. It's all you do. The world is waiting for you. You've been lost, you've been found, and now you started having fun. You won't choke, you won't drown. We'll be together in the sun. Troubles coming on the way, but you can still walk them through. It's all we do. The world is waiting for you. Troubles coming on the way, but you can still walk them through. It's all we do. The world is waiting for you.
Hello, 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 everyone. Dr. Rowena Winkler here. If you are unfamiliar with me or my work, welcome. Every new moon and full moon, we come together and I share some insights, some takeaways. There's usually a card pull or something of that nature. And we're going to do all of that fun stuff and more today for this new moon in Taurus, which came to us, if you're on the East Coast like me, at 11:53 a.m. So first things first, some logistics to get out of the way. If you are interested in knowing more about astrology and getting more insights on a monthly basis, I do have a free astrology intuitive insights email newsletter that I send on your way every month. There's the type form below. I will also put it in the show notes because I understand that, you're not going to be writing down all those different random letters there. So we'll be sure to have that for you. In addition to that, I also have a membership called the Inner Muse membership. And the fun, exciting update is that I've recently revamped this membership that I launched last year to be purely astrology focused. Now, what does this mean? For folks that are part of the membership, not only will you get to participate in these insights and whatnot that we have for the new moon and full moon, but you're also able to have a one-on-one reading with me where I'll look at your chart in terms of where this new moon or full moon lies, where the lunation lies in your chart. If you're also going through a major transition, say a Saturn return, which for me was the jumpstart to a lot of the work that I do now. I can do compatibility readings and whatnot. And also, as a member, you get first dibs on all of the offerings that I have, a lot of the classes and whatnot. I have guests that come on through my astrology conversations each month that you'll get a chance to ask questions of those guests. And at the start of every month, I will do an astrology of the month where we'll look at where the moon lies in each sign and how does that all play into each other so that you can plan whether you are a business owner or just an individual that wants to work more intentionally with astrology and with the moon. So that is that little piece of it. And if you're interested in hopping in and being part of the community, the official launch won't be until next month. the 1 year anniversary of the membership, but if you go to the URL that I have here, rowenawinkler.com/intermuse membership, use the discount code IMM in to get your first payment 33% off. So a nice fancy angel number discount with that there. So that's out of the way. Now let's talk about this new moon. So there's a lot happening. First of all, we have a stellium in Taurus. What does that mean? There are multiple planets hanging out in Taurus right now. So there's like a buttload of Taurus energy that's happening. So we have the sun in Taurus, right? Because it is Taurus season. Shout out to my Taurus friends. We'll give a little plug to the conversation that I had with my dear Taurus friend and queen, Hannah Jefferson. We have the moon in Taurus, obviously, with this new moon. Mercury's also in Taurus, and we also have Uranus and the North Node. So a lot happening here. I just want to touch upon really quickly in terms of Uranus, right? Uranus is the planet of revolution, of unconventionality, of rebellion, thinking outside the box. So this energy, this Taurus stellium in terms of that Uranus aspect might, motivate you, or it might kind of put you off kilter a little bit, like what the heck is going on? Because we're going to be seeing things and the different themes of Taurus that I'll talk about in just a moment a little bit differently. And then with that North Node, right? The North Node, the North and South nodes, those nodes are in regards to where we're coming from, that South Node, and the North Node is our karmic path. Where are we heading? And so this is a really potent and powerful new moon to lay those intentions. And speaking of intentions, this is a primo time to set intentions because we just finished out this last eclipse season, right? Our last lunations last month were or I guess in the past cycle were eclipses, and now that is done. Retrograde is done. We're in the retrograde aspect of it, but these big things are done. And so during eclipse season, we shouldn't be, astrologers, myself included, are like nay, no intention setting, no manifestations, because with eclipses it's just like warp speed. There's so much going on that we just gotta chill and let be. But now in this new moons are a wonderful time to set intentions. So take the time to really tap in, take the time to reflect and to process and integrate all of the lessons from not only eclipse season, but from retrograde season, this past retrograde period, and think about what are those seeds, right? Because new moons is a fresh start, and think of it, now that we're in the spring and moving into the summer soon, what were the seeds that we want to plant? What are those intentions we want to plant? Something that I'll personally be doing is like writing that intention on a bay leaf, right? And then burning it using a green candle, because as we're going to chat about, Taurus is also a planet ruled by Venus, which is abundance and beauty. And so write on that bay leaf what you want. Do a little ritual tonight with that new moon. And then another thing that you could do as well is going into deep meditation, doing some path work, really trying to connect with spirit, source, God, what have you, your spirit guides, and see what's next, right? What's next on this journey? Because that's also Taurus energy, right? Taurus energy is intentionality, it's stability, it's practicality, it is putting one foot in front of the other. So it's not like our friends in Aries, right? That's like go, 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 go. No, Taurus is very methodical, and there is intentionality with each step. So when you think about what are those next action steps to get to that intention? Because here's the thing, right? We can try to manifest in law of attraction our way into all the things, but if we're just chilling and doing the same old and just not making any inspired action steps forward, nothing is really going to materialize. We have to show to Mama Uni that we are open and ready and available for these changes that we want to happen in our lives, right? So let's work toward that. Okay. Intention setting. And then another piece of it is, as I mentioned, Taurus is it's earth energy. So it's very grounding. So this is a lovely time to get grounded. And I'm just going to put a shout out here. The tips that Hannah gave yesterday in my conversation with her in regards to how to ground were really, really helpful. She gave some really amazing acupressure points that you can use when you're in a like kind of state. There's some really great just practical, just going outside was one of them. And I know I've been doing that a lot more since she gave that advice. So check that out. If you're here now, you should be familiar with my YouTube channel. It's the video we literally went live yesterday at the time of this recording. So check that on out. So we have that. And now I want to, speaking of grounding, before we talk about that abundance piece that I reference when it comes to Taurus, I would like to engage in a bit of a grounding exercise. I will put all of these links in the show notes, but this exercise is from Witchcraft Therapy. Actually, I finished this book literally this morning at Starbucks, sitting outside. So by Mandy M. This was lent to me by my good friend Ken. So shout out to you. Thank you for letting me borrow this. I thought this was a really good centering exercise as we get into a nice state for the new moon. So, okay. It says to get outside. Obviously, we're not outside today, but just a nice quiet place. And, you can always go back to this, right? If you need some grounding. Okay. Okay, so sit down and place your feet and palms on the ground. And breathe in and out. Engage in some deep breathing. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in and out. Now I want you to visualize a small seed of light in the core of your body. And as you breathe, imagine that seed is growing roots that branch out throughout your body. That seed is growing roots that travel down your arms, travel down your legs, through your palms and your soles of the feet that are on the ground. So as you have your hands and feet on the ground, that seed is just growing these roots. And with each exhale, visualize the negative energy from the seed flowing into the ground where it's cleansed. And as you inhale, imagine that this cleansed energy is a white light as you pull back up into yourself through the roots of the seed. So continue to do this. Inhale, this cleansed energy is this white light that's coming up through the roots of that seed that you've planted. Exhale, the negative energy washes out from the seed into the ground where it's cleansed so that you can inhale again and again. So continue doing this, continue inhaling and exhaling, and imagine that you are forming this powerful, beautiful loop with the earth that is essentially acting as an energetic filter for you. And it is filling you up with this beautiful, healing, protective energy. And you continue doing this, inhaling, exhaling. And when you're feeling that you're at a place that is grounded and energetically realigned, you can open your eyes and stop. How did that feel? Now, if you don't have access to nature, Mandy MS also has some suggestions for our city folks or our suburbia dwellers, right? You can sit on the floor in your living space if you have houseplants. If you have, some sort of plant, You could also use a crystal, a rock, or a stick, or a leaf, or something of that nature. So, speaking of nature, right? Incorporating that because that's very Taurus grounding energy. So, I hope that was helpful for you and that you're able to incorporate that and come back to it whenever you're feeling off center, off balance. It's a really beautiful exercise. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, we're feeling grounded, we're feeling good. Let's talk about abundance. So, Taurus already, has second house energy in astrology. So it's already got that, abundance, money, resources vibe to it. But what makes this new moon especially powerful and potent is that just earlier this week, 3 days ago, Jupiter is now moved into Taurus, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance. And so it's like, this is like amped the F up, right? Um, but I will say, despite the like, in terms of Jupiter and that expansion piece of it, what's so beautiful about Taurus energy is that, as I mentioned, there's a pragmatism to it, right? There's an intentionality to it. Even though it has that second house energy of resources and money and materialism, it's not about like being super rich. It's not about being, the next, I don't know, super rich person. Whoever you want, insert there, right? It's more than just having all this abundance of resources. It's more about the comfort, the stability and security. So it's not so much like let me acquire all the things. It's more of let me do this inside out job where I check in with myself and see how I'm feeling secure and safe and comfortable. Um, and how can I step into divine alignment with myself and with this path that I'm going to, that north node, right? And it's more about this exploration of depth, right? It's not this frivolous thing. There's a depth to this, but it's not serious. There's also like a pleasure because that's Taurus again, ruled by Venus. That's the planet of love, aesthetic. Like there's love, aesthetic, pleasure, coziness, sensuality, right? So it's like a juicy, as I'm like rubbing my pregnant belly, it's like a juicy, like yummy, like right? Like a That's the vibe. That's the vibe. That's the vibe that we're going for. So it's not like let me get rich for, like a get rich quick thing. It's like let me take the time to sit down and process. First of all, taking stock of what I already have. What are my resources already at my disposal? What am I overlooking? What am I grateful for? And then what are the inspired action steps again to move forward to that next level? Because with that patience, with that steadfastness, and yeah, maybe perhaps even stubbornness, because I know Taurus can have that vibe as well. How can we get there? All right. Da-da-da. So, with all that said, let's do a card pool. Obviously, we're going to do an abundance card. Tasha Silver, Divine Abundance. Let's see what we got today. And then we're going to call it because I'm thirsty and I'm warm. I'm in my third trimester pregnancy. And this ring light is like in my face. Okay. Surrender. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest, to stop trying to control the whole universe. Well, if that ain't like earthy, grounded Taurus energy, I don't know what's what. Again, and actually this came up in my conversation with Hannah yesterday. Everything has its season. take a cue from the trees outside, right? It plants the seed, and think about that exercise we did. We plant the seed, and sometimes it might take a minute to grow and blossom into what we're looking for. But I don't know what y'all. I'm a firm believer that things work out as they should. And again, we're not sitting back. It's not like it's a surrender, but mm, it's knowing what's in our control and when we need to take a step back and take stock of, you know, letting universe take its cue. So, with that said, that's the new moon. If there's anything that I can do to support you or help you, if you'd like a personalized reading, if you want to know more about anything I mentioned today, I will put all the links in the show notes, as I said. And yeah, otherwise, have a beautiful, amazing new moon. New moon blessings to you. Set those intentions, and I will see you again soon. Take care.